Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
Hello there and welcome. Welcome, Gary.
Good to be here again. Thank you.
Yes, always. Our question this week, we'll pull it up on the screen. My son is getting a lifeguard job this summer. Do we need to be concerned about any liability issues if something happens on his watch?
Well, number one, isn't that happy news that we are opening pools and people are going to have normal summer jobs? And,
yes, it is. Oh, my goodness.
That is great. So good for him taking the job too. And I think the quick answer is no.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
Is that it?
That's it. That's it.
So it all really comes down to who's under control and who you're working for, you know. So,
okay.
So if you're not working for the parents, then it's not the parents' responsibility. There are some situations where parents can be responsible for the criminal activity of their children to a limited amount, maybe $5,000. I haven't looked at that statute in a long time, but there's some limited kind of parental obligation and responsibility, but not in this kind of situation. Your homeowner's insurance might provide coverage if something did happen, and if your son was named or you know something bad happened. I hope it doesn't, but if it did, that coverage might be there for you, but it would not be liability of the parents any more than if your child is driving a car on their own and they're not running an errand for the family, they're not acting on behalf of the family, then it is not the parents' responsibility. His parents get sued sometimes, it happens.
Yeah.
That's only a couple of reasons, but maybe they shouldn't have given the keys to the kid, you know. Maybe they knew better, or maybe it was a family purpose, or they're running some kind of business together or doing something. So there are times when there is exposure, but again, the question becomes control, even in employment situations.
Yeah.
So if you're off running an errand for lunch, that is not going to necessarily obligate your employer for liability if you cause some damage to something.
Okay. Well, are there other summer jobs that might fall under the same kind of concern, I guess? Or
yeah, you know, I don't think so.
I think we're
honestly, you know, we
think
worry.
our kids are good.
We worry. What is it? They say we worry. We
don't borrow worry, right?
That's right. Don't borrow tomorrow's problems.
Yeah.
You know. So we suffer more worrying about what might happen than we do in reality. And I think obviously you want to be prepared for things. You want to have the coverage, and you want to be cognizant. But I don't think it's an everyday situation where people need to be worrying about what their children do to other people as far as it reflecting back on the family finances.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you, Gary. We'll see you on the very next Legal Break.